A study out overnight shows a lack of driver safety laws could help explain the surging number of people killed in accidents. The report ranks driving safety laws nationwide. It finds Rhode Island, Delaware, Washington State, Washington, D.C., Louisiana, and Oregon as the best states for safe driving. Rhode Island is at the top of that list.
Go Rhode Island. At the other end of the spectrum, South Dakota, Wyoming, Arizona, Missouri, and Montana are accused of having the worst record, with South Dakota at the very bottom. Kris Van Cleave is outside Washington, D.C. and Virginia. One of the states the group says needs to do more to make the roads safe. Kris, good morning.
Good morning. Here's an example. In Virginia, if you're 18 and in the front seat, you have to wear your seatbelt, but police can't pull you over if you're not buckled up. The new research says a tougher law would save lives and comes at a time as regulators are trying to explain a surge in traffic deaths nationwide.
Our lives have been drastically changed and shattered.
James Schaefer's wife, Emma, and their 12-year-old daughter were driving to their Denton, Texas home last April when they were struck head-on by a 24-year-old mother who had her young daughter in the car. Police believe she was texting. All four died in the crash. Schaefer says he will never forget telling his young son the news.
Sitting him down and having to explain to him that his mother and his sister were gone and they died was probably the hardest thing that I've ever had to do in my life.
Texas state law only bans drivers under 18 from texting. An all-driver texting ban is among 15 safety laws the new report says every state should have. The measures range from primary enforcement of seatbelts to graduated driver's licenses for teens to ignition locks for DUI offenders. The report gave low marks to 17 states for being dangerously behind in adopting optimal laws. South Dakota scored at the bottom with just 2 of the 15. The Mount Rushmore State's governor's office blamed the legislature. Several states didn't do very well on this report card. Is there a resistance to traffic safety laws?
Yes, and we need to change that.
Jackie Gillen is the president of the Advocates for Highway and Auto Safety. The annual roadmap report has resulted in at least 235 state laws being passed over the last 14 years, but many measures stalled last year.
I think there's resistance in state legislatures to tell people to buckle up or put their kids in a proper child restraint, and we need to change that.
Earlier this month, the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration estimated nearly 28,000 people died in crashes during the first 9 months of 2016. That number is up about 8% from 2015, which saw the biggest rise in deaths in 50 years. Since the April crash, Schaefer helped convince the city of Denton to pass a hands-free law and is working on a similar statewide measure.
It's astonishing how many people, especially young people, we're losing due to something as simple as distracted driving.
The report estimates the cost to the economy for vehicle crashes to be about $242 billion every year. That so-called crash tax works out to around $800 per person in the U.S. Nora?
All right, it costs us all. That's right. Kris, thank you. Great reporting there.
So.
Yeah.